Hello. Welcome to True Living Africa, your wellness podcast. I'm Uyok Hansen.
And I'm Oyin Talabi.
We are your
Health and wellness coaches.
And we are here to help you live your best life.
Yay!
Hey guys, it's a brand new day. It's a good day to learn great stuff.
A good day to be alive.
Today, as the topic suggests, we're talking about controlling food cravings. Whoosh! How do you feel about that, Oyin?
I'm actually
looking forward to diving into the science and the heart of food cravings.
Yes, and also busting some myths about it.
Absolutely,
so, yeah,
absolutely. The reason why food cravings and all that, the myth around food cravings is so important is because a lot of our clients that we see, have these uncontrollable cravings, especially when they're on their weight loss journeys, and it's stuff that can easily derail you when you're trying to start out on your wellness journey, you're trying to eat healthier and so forth. So it's a big deal, especially when people don't really know where the cravings are coming from, right? And people feel, some people feel that, oh my God, I've got this insatiable appetite. I just can't stop eating a certain kind of food. And in one of our episodes, we talked about emotional eating.
Yeah.
And there's a link there.
Strong link, yeah. With cravings, emotional eating.
But here in this episode, we're going to be diving a little bit more into what cravings really are, and how to help ourselves, where they come from, and sort of how to help ourselves come out of, the whole craving cycle. Yeah. And so
I guess we can start with what are cravings, basically. For those of us that are unclear. And also a food craving is really just an intense desire for a specific kind of food. It can be a food, can be a drink, but you just desire something. It sometimes may feel a bit uncontrollable, and sometimes it's not even associated with hunger. You just want it.
Right.
Like I've been craving ice.
I know what that is.
For the past month or so, I've been craving ice.
Okay.
And it's like, okay.
Ice,
as in ice cubes.
Cube, not ice the drink.
Oh, is there a drink?
Yes.
No. Ice cubes. So I now have my own ice tray. Nobody must touch it because I need to chew on ice. And I'm someone that doesn't even drink cold water.
There you go.
So I'm like, okay, there must be something
happening here.
And then in the process of this, I found out what it is, but we'll get there.
Exactly.
We'll get there.
And for me, lately, it's also been frozen yogurt. It's bad. Like if you get into the deep freezer, like I've got tubs and tubs of the thing, and it's like it can feed an army, right? But the minute a member of my household touches it, there's a meltdown. Like why would you? I know the problem I'm facing here, so just leave my stuff alone, right? So, and the thing is, the thing with cravings not being associated with hunger is that sometimes you feel like you're hungry and you feel, okay, let me just eat something. And you're craving, like I'm craving my froyo.
Something else.
Right. So I say, okay, let me just eat. When I'm done with my meal, for instance, right, then maybe the craving will go away. Lo and behold, I finished my, my kale salad and...
Until you eat that...
And it's
whatever you're craving for.
Right. Yeah. So it does happen.
Nothing will satisfy. Nothing will satisfy. Even though some experts believe that food cravings last only between 3 to 5 minutes. So if you can overcome that 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
And so you're advised to, maybe change your location,
go
breathe
for a walk
deeply.
Yeah.
There are different things, but really, how many of us when we're craving something would take time out to breathe?
Yeah.
And just sort of...
You have to be very mindful to be able to do that, don't you?
You do.
Yeah.
You do. But what causes food cravings?
Well, you see, people experience their cravings differently. Food cravings are really caused by Scientifically, they're caused by the regions in your brain, what that's responsible for memory, pleasure, and reward.
We like that science always has an answer.
Yes, it does. but it still ties to the emotions, right? So all those centers of your brain, ties to your emotions, and that can bring up a craving, especially when your brain, your emotions, your body then have like a memory. You know how
memory bank.
Exactly. Memory bank theory. When you want your body needs a certain kind of nutrient, and it's used to getting carbs from maybe French fries.
Mm-hmm.
And so when your body needs energy or carbs, if it's in your memory bank, remembers that, I'm a French fries person. When you start a wellness journey, your body's going to want French fries when you're feeling a bit dizzy or you're feeling hungry. Whereas you can just have something whole grain like quinoa. Or brown rice. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that causes cravings could be like hormonal imbalances, which is our big thing here at True Living. Such as leptin. Leptin is a hormone that regulates fat storage and tells your brain how many calories you're supposed to eat. Serotonin is another hormone that if it's thrown out of whack, can cause tremendous food cravings, isn't it?
Yeah, serotonin is a happy hormone. So that helps regulate our mood, happiness, sense of well-being, lack of it, anxiety. So that still ties back to emotional eating.
Right.
I know. And, it's just showing you how we can eat emotionally, how it's so easy to just sort of flow in that direction.
Right.
And everybody does it. Everybody does.
Because for me, I honestly think that emotions and your brain chemicals are strongly linked.
They are, because if you think about it, your hormones help to regulate
your emotions.
All of that.
But people think sometimes that emotions are this abstract concept that's sort of otherworldly.
That's
in the spiritual realm. In your mind.
It's
exactly.
far from your body, but your body actually influences what's going on there.
Yeah.
But I want us to go back to the connection between cravings and nutrients and the memory bank, because that's a big thing, and I think that that's really where most of us struggle, because even the food that we're eating is helping our bodies to produce hormones. So your body will break it down to produce the hormones. So now if you're eating junk food, then your hormones will be imbalanced because your body's not even able to produce the hormones that it needs. So because you started on it already, with the French fries and
carbs. Exactly. So the thing about the memory bank theory is that when your body needs certain things, when we know that our bodies do need our carbohydrates, our fats, but as much as possible, we want to be able to feed our bodies the best of these things, the best options out there, right? And, all hope is not lost when it feels like you keep coming back to this French fries craving, right? Or that,
or like women, when we're close to our period,
right,
we tend to crave magnesium. We tend to crave chocolates,
right?
So a lot of us are craving chocolates, but meanwhile
it's really a magnesium deficiency.
Exactly,
right.
That your body's just crying out, give me some
magnesium. So
if you had like vegetables and leafy greens, then that would satisfy that craving. Another thing is if you're craving like sugary foods, your body's most likely asking for sulfur, carbon, phosphorus, and so you need to be eating stuff like broccoli, fresh fruits, chicken, beef. What else?
And that's
Eggs.
that's kind of what I discovered with my frozen yogurt craving, because I don't really do the ice cream thing, right? But the sweet that I crave, I get it from the froyo. And so I discovered that that I do have my broccoli and all of that stuff, and I'm sort of diving better and deeper into all kinds of fruits as opposed to limiting myself to the oranges or the citrus. So I do the grapes, I do the mangoes, and that kind of helps with sugar cravings, doesn't it?
It does. Apparently for my own ice craving is because our body is craving iron.
Yes, there's an iron deficiency.
Yeah, apparently.
That's true.
So,
and then there's the carbon one that's associated with like burnt foods.
Yeah, some people crave like burnt jollof rice.
Yes.
You just crave that burntness of the jollof rice.
Some people that like the bottom pots.
Bottom pots.
Of certain.
She got it. Bottom pots.
Yes. And so like when I'm doing vegetables, right?
Yeah.
I don't just
Like it
stir
charred a bit.
Yes, so then put it
know.
in the oven
Even
and
my
then
eggs.
get it burnt.
Chai.
Yes. So that's the
Problem
carbon.
deal. So fresh fruits is what we're lacking.
Exactly, for that carbon deficiency, isn't it?
And then some people craving sodas and carbonated drinks. It could be calcium that you're lacking.
Yes, this
So
is true.
again, go back to your greens, go back to cheese, sesame seeds. We have sesame seeds in abundance
Really
here.
good, yeah.
We
for
have
calcium deficiencies.
Yeah, all our legumes, all our beans and stuff.
Right.
We need to go back to that. Cold drinks.
Yes, and that's a manganese deficiency. Yes, if you've got even like we talked about the last time, micronutrient deficiencies, and that's what a lot of people
That's what we're lacking.
That's what we're lacking,
And it
even
gets lost in our food.
Yes, a lot of it gets lost, and the body needs all those trace minerals and vitamins to function optimally. And so we just sort of get by with getting by. But the truth is, these cravings, apart from the emotional and the hormonal aspect, they most times signal, the physiological science says that there is a need that the body is trying to talk to you about and saying that, listen, I need XYZ.
Yeah.
And so the body, being infinitely intelligent as Mother Nature made it, is telling you what it needs.
Yeah.
And so like the PMS, like before that time of the month for women, you just start, when people say, oh, when it's that time of the month, I eat all kinds of things. That's when I start to eat sugar. When I know that sugar is bad for me and it gives me cramps and all of that, I still need to have sugar, right? And you start
Not
to
just
crave
even
weird
sugar.
things.
I just want to kill a person.
I know.
As in,
Craving
when
for
I'm
murder.
PMS, I tell you, when I'm PMS, or when my PMS was out of order before
we're able to
I
balance
realized that I was
It
out
shouldn't
of
be
order.
that way.
Because
Yeah.
we've been told a lie that, women are supposed to PMS, and when they're PMSing, they go crazy, blah, blah, blah. But, that's a topic for another day, but it's not true.
Right.
It's just showing us a hormonal imbalance.
And we can change that narrative.
Exactly. So when I decided to change my narrative, but before I changed the narrative, just the week or two before my period, everybody just used to stay away from me because Oyin was on a rampage.
Yeah.
I know. But then when I realized that there was a problem, I started taking, I went and did a test and started taking my milk thistle. I think I was sharing with you. I started taking milk thistle to help to balance out my hormones. I cleaned out my diet even better. And those kind of things just really, really helped.
Absolutely.
I know. And the list is really, really long. Many things.
There's an interesting one when there's another kind of craving. Just that binge eating.
Okay.
Like we talked about last week, the chronic overeating, right? And that's when you talk about silicon, tyrosine, those trace minerals that you can get from your nuts or seeds, from your cheese, raisins, sweet potatoes or spinach. And even vitamin C supplements can really help reduce that some of your cravings to just eat in excess. Like even after you're full, you just keep eating. So if you're overeating and you find yourself in that situation, lots of times you really want to check, your vitamin C supplementation, your green fruits and your leafy green vegetables, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're craving coffee uncontrollably, so for those of us that are drinking coffee like 4 or 5 times a day,
thank
it's
goodness.
not normal. It's not normal. So if you're craving that, you're most likely deficient. Your body's probably crying out for sulfur, for phosphorus, or for iron. Mm-hmm. So you want to eat meat, sea salt, apple cider vinegar will get you there. Egg yolks will get you there. So we want to balance. I guess the main thing here is that we need to clean out our diets.
That's it.
I know, because if your body is craving certain things that if you overeat it, then it's going to tip you in an imbalanced way, then we need to just clean out that memory from the body and because reset. The body will reset the body. So an easy way to do that is to go on a detox.
Right.
So you can go on a a fast. I like to just fast one day, and that will sort of help you reset everything. Go do a 24-hour fast, or you can do a 2-day, 3-day detox with just juices and water, just to clean out your system, and then you now start to reintroduce healthier options.
I agree.
I know, because I used to crave chocolates a lot, but since I started eating more, since my diet got cleaner, I don't actually crave chocolate. I crave vegetables.
Right.
I know I crave cleaner things. I mean, once in a while, the ice comes off.
Of course, it's the 80-20 rule. You can't be 100%.
Exactly.
But yeah, for those of us who are unable to go on a 24-hour fast, or who are unable to fast with juices, you could just start to introduce, so like replace your meals, maybe 2 meals, and just have the one regular meal, whatever your regular is, and have one of my favorite detox drinks. And we're going to, again, another episode of ours is going to be diving into a lot of detox drinks that we can make within the African setting. Is the cucumber, parsley, ginger cleanse, and it's amazing because it balances out your blood sugar
that sounds like it will balance out your palate as well.
Yes.
So you're not good. It will clean out the palate.
It will clean out. It wipes your memory bank, resets you
all the way from the mouth. So exactly. There's no way you're going to be craving anything bad after that.
Absolutely. And another thing we can do to reduce cravings is also to take down our stress levels.
Yeah. Reducing stress is a big one because that already throws your hormones out of whack.
Absolutely.
So if we're able to bring our stress levels down, then that would definitely help with emotional eating as well. That emotional response that we tend to have when we're stressed out.
Even the hormonal response. Yeah, exactly. I know the thing about stress eating is, apart from there are many things around, like avoidance of maybe a task you're procrastinating, or just rewarding yourself for a hard day, at work, and you're like,
let me just down that bottle of wine. I've had a long day.
So the other day,
the whole cake.
The other day, my husband is like, "Oh, I had such a hard day, so I'm going to have blah blah blah. I'm going to order." I'm like, "This is like 9 p.m."
Oh, wow.
And he says, "Oh yes, it's 9 p.m. Are you with me?" I said, "No, I'm not with you. I haven't had a hard day like you have had. So but why don't you do this tomorrow?" I said, "No, it has to be today." I'm like, "Okay." It's all right. And so sometimes
it's real.
Yes, it's real.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's like, "Oh, I'm driving to so and so place because I want to get so and so thing because that's what I am craving today because it's been a hard day." I'm like, have you noticed that
your hard days end with binge?
Yes,
binging.
And so it's important to take down our stress levels or change our approach.
And remember that stress, when you're stressed out, your digestive system slows down.
Absolutely.
Your metabolism slows down. So when you're even binge eating,
it's just storing in your stomach right there. It's like around your organs.
In there.
Yeah. So first of all, you're at risk for IBS.
Yeah.
That's irritable bowel syndrome. You're also at risk for abdominal fat and a bigger, wider waistline because usually by the time you're binging like that, what's the next thing you're going to do after binging is to either watch a movie or go to bed or
sleep.
you're just going to be sedentary.
You're not going to be exercising that off.
Right. And so you're not going to be exercising that off. And so it's a catch-22 situation. You really want to tackle stress in a more healthy manner. And we haven't even talked about how pregnant women experience cravings, and that's matter for but again it's still down to hormonal imbalances, like people want to eat chalk or eat stones
or eat food from a particular restaurant. My mom apparently had that kind of craving when she was carrying me. She said she went to the market and there was one woman that was making amala or something like that, and so she ate the amala. But after that,
it always had to
meanwhile, we lived far away from that market, or they lived far away from that market. And it had to be that amala from that market that she had to eat. And I thought, right.
No, it happens. It's real. I have the same experience with pap. And that pap had to be guinea corn, and that guinea corn had to be infused with ginger. And I drove to a particular market. And I'll wait for them, it's 7 a.m. right, and I'll just wait. and then they're strolling by 9. I'm like,
I've been waiting.
And the weird thing was that I didn't even know how to make pap.
Oh wow!
So I'll then take home and then start this whole trial and error process
of making
throw it out. It will have lumps. Throw it out till I was down.
We need to do a thing on pregnant women.
We do.
Pregnant women are interesting.
Yeah.
So another way of helping your cravings or overcoming your cravings is to drink water.
A lot of water.
Yeah.
A lot of water.
Apparently, the first time, usually when we're hungry, it could be a signal for thirst. So we ideally should be drinking water before we even eat.
Half of us are low-level dehydrated.
Yeah. There's
most of the time.
I can't remember his name again. There's this holistic doctor whose theory and his whole treatment thing is on water.
Around hydrating, yeah?
Yeah. He's like, disease comes out of dehydration, and that half the time all the diseases that we have are because our cells are dehydrated. So all his therapy is water therapy. He just starts to fill you up with alkaline water, and that's how he treats everything. I can't remember his name.
I can totally believe that. I can totally believe that because
it makes sense.
Your body's more acidic when it's dehydrated.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Your liver is not
and
functioning
water
properly.
Helps to
your
push
kidney.
out all toxins.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's interesting.
Another thing to do to reduce your cravings, of course, is getting enough sleep. Again, that's tied to hormones, tied to stress.
Yeah.
And the thing with the circadian rhythm that we talked about before is sort of like when you're sleeping, when you're not meant to be sleeping, especially like night shift workers.
Yeah.
When you're awake, when you're not supposed to be awake. So your body is sort of a little bit out of balance.
And there are certain things that your body goes through at night. That it's because that's when it repairs.
Repairs.
That's when it heals.
At
that's
about
when it
2 in the
resets.
morning. Yeah.
So it needs that nighttime rest. So people that are working at night, some of us, our juices flow at night. So
insomniacs and
I don't
creatives,
know why.
a lot of
creatives.
Yeah.
So it does throw us out of balance, and we always have to find a way of resetting. We always have to.
One of my favorite craving go-to, right, is protein.
Okay.
And because I'm such a huge advocate, and that's because my body type and just the way I operate, right? I will live on a protein diet like anytime, any day. Low carb works for me, but high protein also works for me.
Me too.
But not high protein to the point that my kidneys are shot or my cholesterol is through the roof.
And healthy protein too.
Quality protein, exactly. So, and I found that when I start the day with healthy proteins, right? I am so stable. Yes, your blood sugar is stabilized. Yeah. You're not, you don't
get as hungry.
Exactly. And when you do get hungry, it's sort of like a level-headed hunger.
Yeah.
It's not the hunger. Hungry and angry that,
Yeah.
So that happens when you do toast, even if it's whole grain toast. When you do the God forbid toast and orange juice breakfast, that's like recipe for disaster. Like the day is just for hunger, because by 11 a.m. you're done. You've crashed, right?
Yeah.
So having a good solid protein breakfast, and even having protein in all your meals,
it's
helps.
very important. I mean, like for me, I find that when I cut out protein, I get constipated.
Right.
My body actually needs the fiber from the protein.
Interesting.
As well. The fiber from vegetables is not enough.
Right.
For me. My body is special.
I can see. I know.
But I need protein.
Right. So eating enough protein helps because it balances your blood sugar.
Yeah. Helps you to stay stable.
Yes, and of course it feeds your muscles. Your muscles are metabolically active.
Yeah.
And so it just helps you stay
and helps your body produce the hormones that it needs.
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. So up your protein if you're trying to control those cravings.
Good proteins, though. We're not saying go and eat fatty sausages and stuff.
Yeah. Fatty sausages.
We can see the type. But we mean good, healthy, clean proteins.
Absolutely.
Please.
And so other things you can do to sort of cope, change your scenery, like if it's, replacing bad habits or, can be difficult. But since it's due to long-term habits, these cravings, sometimes you just want to be able to take a walk.
Yeah.
Especially when you've just eaten and you're still sort of having these
craving for something else.
Thoughts. Yeah. Especially for the kind of like that big bucket of fried chicken.
Yeah.
And
you
a
want
movie.
to just step away, walk away.
You just want to step away from the remote control.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Just go for a walk.
Walk away.
And, another thing is when we are doing these fasts and all these diets and all of that.
When you want to break?
We get too hungry.
Yeah.
Especially if your last meal was probably a carb meal.
Yeah.
So we get too hungry, and so it's important to avoid hunger.
Yeah.
Control portions so that our blood sugar
and that's harder to control portions when you're hungry.
Exactly.
So
all judgment is thrown out of the window.
Exactly. So it goes back to not allowing yourself to get too hungry so that you can even control your portions, so that you can even change your scenery.
Yeah.
In the first
place. And you
place.
can just be in control.
And being in control.
Yeah.
And also, like everything, so it's about finding that balance.
It's about finding that balance and
making
obviously
sure.
knowing where to start. And so just to wrap up, we know that if you really want to reset, try to go on a gentle detox, as much as your body can handle.
Yeah. Start off drinking plenty of water.
Plenty of water, green juices, green leafy green vegetables, quality proteins, and start to incorporate those in your diet. And
and just gradually clean out that diet.
And a good multivitamin also that has your trace minerals will help those things go away. And so,
thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. I learned a lot just listening to ourselves.
Yes.
And I hope the audience learned a lot too.
We'll look forward to seeing you again. To you joining us again. And yes, follow us on africabusinessradio.com, Africa Business Radio on Instagram and on Twitter and Facebook. And we are True Living Africa on Instagram and Twitter.
Absolutely, 100%. Okay, Africa. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
See you next
soon.
time.